All right, we are live from Pleb Lab, day 2, the State of Pleb Lab, and I got the man, the myth, the legend himself. I got CEO now of Pleb Lab.
Stay humble.
Yeah,
Stay humble.
there we go.
Co-founder.
Carr, how are you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Oh man, so
excited. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
All right, cool.
All right, yeah, I know I got the dual screen, so you can like look at yourself on 2 different things. But
yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah,
this is way more amazing setup than when we do Stacker News live in here.
It's really. Hey man, well you got me all set up on here, so I appreciate it. But should I start calling you Chief or what? Like Chief?
No,
like,
dude, no.
Chief Carr or what?
I'm just a pleb.
Yeah,
dude, I'm just a pleb. Trying to make sure that we keep doing everything that we're supposed to be doing here in Austin to help it grow and facilitate. And you're a part of it. So that's it, dude. I'm trying to retweet everything right now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in and giving me some time. We are going to have you on the pod too. So a little teaser for this week.
Yeah,
it'll come out on Friday. But why don't we start there? So, what do we got going on here this week? Obviously we got Sats by. I'm here doing some live stuff, but there's a lot of different events that I'll be jumping around. You'll be jumping around at. So, line it out. What's are you most excited? Yeah.
So yesterday we had the ordinals, kind of like a thing. I'm pulling up the website because I wrote all this on Thriller Bitcoin like a week ago. But so last night we had the ordinals thing. That was amazing, dude. It was super testnet, like brought down the house. Like it was the most engaging ordinals workshop I've ever seen. No disrespect to Casey, but I just thought it was way more just like easy onboarding into ordinals and the fascination with inscriptions and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool. And then we had Ziki last night, and then we just kind of got into like posting I don't know if you saw the Howard the Duck. So Super posted Howard the Duck.
Oh no, I didn't see
on
that.
The blockchain. On the blockchain.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's funny. So that happened yesterday. And then today we're doing Lit Devs, so Lightning Developers Meetup. So that happens about once a month. And then so today Ben and Nifty are going to go over like different different things that you could build potentially for this weekend, or if you need to set up in a team or something. Like that's what's going on. There was also the Bitcoin breakfast. I think you went to that, right?
Yeah, I went to that at the Meteor. It was it had great tacos. Yeah, I mean, not only just coffee, but that's the one thing I miss about living in Austin. I had breakfast tacos this morning, and then I went to a food truck and got tacos for lunch.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's one thing that you can't get in many places is the diversity of tacos that you can get here in Austin.
Yeah. And then so that same place that you went to also has they have a Bitcoin dinner that they do, and usually everybody drinks wine there. You get like 50% off of burgers and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that's going on today. And then tomorrow, it's so much stuff, dude.
I know, it's just jam-packed.
Tomorrow is the Bitcoin trivia night. So we're having Bitcoin trivia here at PlebLab again. It's going to be hosted by D and Super again. And yeah, that's going to be an amazing time. There'll be drinks and like food and stuff. That'd be good. And then on Thursday, Nifty's throwing a Bitcoin node live action role play. So this is a fun thing. Like I remember when she first started doing this, like maybe it was like over a year ago at this point. Gosh, I don't remember. But it's like basically like it's like doing like a full Bitcoin transactions kind of game that you can kind of see how Bitcoin works in real time with like physical cards and string and stuff. It sounds super wacky, but it's a lot of fun. It's a big hit.
It almost sounds like what Mahler's did with that explanation with like the corn chips and the like peanuts and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I never.
He did like he said it at Bitcoin Miami. Like that was kind of his explanation to I forgot who it was to. Maybe it was essentially to somebody where it was, telling the 3 steps, with the trusted third party to transfer value. And essentially just like eliminating the middleman with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And he was using like corn chips and peanuts and all that kind of stuff. But it sounds like kind of similar to that, which sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think Nifty it's a little bit more catchier and a lot more fun, probably. Yeah. But yeah, she's gonna do that. That's happening tomorrow at the Commons. So definitely go check out for that. I think you have to click on the link because like, oh yeah, I should also say like, just go to Thriller Bitcoin. All the stuff is on there.
Yeah.
So like,
check out Thriller. I'll tweet it out too.
Yeah. And then all the links for all these events are there, or you can just go and meet up and like check it out. And then tomorrow, Thursday, is the Bitcoin developers meetup. So that's like the main meetup here in town for everything Bitcoin technical development. So that's going to be it's going to be a packed house, I'm sure. There's everybody coming from out of town will be at the Bit Devs, I'm sure. So it'll be fun, and it'll be good because like we do these once a month, and bear market's been kind of slow at these meetups, but like tomorrow should be a really, really good one. And I'm sure they'll have food and stuff there. And then on Friday, this just gets insane, dude. Then on Friday, at Bitcoin Commons, they're going to do a whole like takeover day. So they're going to do like discussions from like global impact and like mining and infrastructure. It's going to be like really like high level discussion happening at the Commons, and I think all their tickets are sold out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they sold out. But I don't know. Message Parker. See, maybe you can sneak in. No, don't sneak in. They'll have food there. And then here at PlebLab, we're gonna do like a startup day. This is our first time ever doing like a full event day. We've done workshops and we've done hackathons before, but this is the first time we've ever done like a full event for a full day. I'm not thank God we have like a lot of people here helping us, but it should be a lot of fun. So that's happening at 9, and then it's going to be a full day of like workshops, builder presentations. We have like startups coming from all over the United States coming over. We have guests coming in, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We still have tickets on sale for that, so if you're interested, go to satsby.dev. And then
I know I'm putting you to the test here, Carl.
And then Saturday and Sunday we're doing. Oh, before I do Saturday and Sunday, so Saturday morning, Gary Leland from BitBlock Boom, Gary, he's gonna throw a small little coffee. He does like this Bitcoin coffee apparently in Dallas.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. And then so Gary's gonna throw like a coffee meetup for like BitBlock Boom people or people that just want to meet Gary. Gary's a great guy. It's gonna be at the Houndstooth right here. So it's like literally off of 5th. And I think 5th and Congress. And then so you can get there, get some coffee, hang out. And then right around like 9:30 a.m., 9 o'clock a.m., we're going to be doing the hackathon at the Commons. That's where we're going to start it. So it's hosted at the Commons, and we're going to have like, it's going to, I think 124 developers.
Sheesh.
Dude, we're going to do categories like Champion Mint, Lightning Privacy, Noster, like most ambitious, best hack overall. It's going to be insane, dude. Like whenever we do these hackathons, like it's just, dude, it's a lot of fun, man.
Really?
Like I'm actually looking forward to the hackathon because that's the thing I feel the most competent in us executing really well. The startup day, like if I'm being completely honest, never done it before. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be basically like a longer workshop day is kind of how I imagine. But like the hackathon, like this is going to be our third one. And it's just, it's just another hackathon. We just execute it. We have all the people in place. We know what to expect. Like, so I'm looking forward to the hackathon. It's going to be, and then the party after the hackathon is always like the best. So like the party after the hackathon, after everybody wins their prizes, and then we all go to Shiners and stuff. That's like,
we popping bottles or what?
No, but it's just like a great feeling of of success. And like everybody, like we did one for the Bitcoin plus one last year, and everybody was just like on another vibe. It was good, man. Everybody was like super happy and jovial, and so I expect the same thing. It's gonna be our biggest hackathon yet. So
yeah, dude, I'm excited. I haven't been to a hackathon yet, so this will be my first one. So yeah, I mean, everybody listening, I mean, if you can make it out to South by Southwest or Austin SATSby, whatever you want to call it right now during this week, I mean, cars working 8 in the morning till like 8 at night, maybe even later, all these days getting this thing set up. So come and support. At the very least, try to send some love to his way.
You've been helping out, dude. I appreciate your help. You're gonna help me out tomorrow big time. So
yeah.
Thank you for coming, dude. Like you coming here and like other people coming here. I just saw Alex here too. Like all of y'all make the biggest difference. It's like the people outside of Austin that are coming in and like showing their support, and I mean, that's literally what a community does, right? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the thing that my biggest takeaway. I mean, I've been here for 2 days basically, so it's been a short amount of time, but like you hear about all the things that's going on in Austin, from an outsider looking in, right? PlebLab, Bitcoin Commons,
Mhm.
you even hear about the stuff kind of going on in Nashville, but you don't really understand, like, I guess, being in the weeds or being, how it's all interacting, what's really going on behind the curtain until you really come down here and see it. And it's incredible. I mean, obviously, I grew up here in Austin, and it's always buzzing during South by Southwest, but it's just a different kind of vibe when you're walking through PlebLab these days, or at least for me. Because I mean, I was telling you when I first came here was BitBlock Boom, and even in that like 6-ish short months, you guys like this place looks almost completely different. So I mean, yeah, talk about that. Like, how's it going with PlebLab and just like overall?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, now you're CEO. I know you like to stay humble, and do all that kind of stuff. And obviously, you're a quality guy, and you don't want to toot your own horn too much. But I see you working hard, extremely hard these days. And so talk about that. Has the community kind of helped you out here a bunch? And yeah, is there anything that people at home can do to help, or is there I don't know. Let's hear about the experience.
Yeah, I think at least for me, I can speak for myself. I'm like one of the co-founders of PlebLab, and yeah, stepping into this role as CEO is a little bit different. You are no longer just focused on just what your tasks were before. You're more focused on the overall picture of everything and where you're headed and revenue and and from that kind of perspective, I think for me, I feel like I understand PlebLab a lot more than I ever did, which is kind of funny to say. Like as as somebody who helped build this, but I feel like now I have a full picture of where PlebLab is and where it could potentially go. And it's one thing to have a vision, and have a trajectory on where you're headed, but it's another thing to actually be practical and be realistic about expectations and about how to get there. And so for me, it's really just taking that practical and realistic approach. And that is just coming in every day, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, being on point, facilitating growth, facilitating extra paths of creating revenue, generating revenue, stuff like that. It's I think taking a practical approach and building businesses to be sustainable first is kind of the way I view it, and I've always viewed it that way. I think it's just different now, kind of taking control of everything and kind of seeing it, with a full picture. But yeah, I would say in the first 6 months, just growing this thing, and it was the first of its kind. Now it's a little bit different because now it's okay, we know what we have, we know the kind of culture that we've created, we know what we're good at, we know where we're not so good at, and then it's just a matter of focusing on the things that we're not so good at and getting better at them, and then finding the right people to facilitate that kind of growth in that specific area. And that's kind of where I'm at right now is everything else is going on behind the scenes at PlebLab, but during the the short term, it's we have really, really fast goals that we need to hit. And so if we can hit those goals, then everything will be fine. And yeah, I'm probably boring people with all this stuff because it doesn't sound like fun at all. But for me, it's a lot of fun. I get to hang out with some of the smartest people in the world. I get to help facilitate the growth of not only them as an individual, but them as a project or with a project or a company. And then it's also making an impact on the community that's around me. It's just a lot of fun, dude. And being in Austin, especially during this time, is one of the, I mean, right now, at least kind of what I'm seeing, some of the smartest people in the world are tackling this kind of problem that's wrong with the world, and that's money, right? And you have some of the smartest, most talented people, and like any other time in history, these people would probably be going somewhere else. Like they'd probably be, you know, maybe, you know, doing something else any other point in history. But like specifically during this time, there's a lot of really smart people working on this problem. And then that's money that is really like kind of gotten us in this situation that we're in, right? With all the news and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think having an impact in that kind of area and lending my my skill set and you know, just experiences to it, I think that helps, just like everybody else is contributing, quite frankly.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's like you kind of alluded to it, right? I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on in the fiat world, but it seems like PlebLab's almost like unfazed. You know, I mean, obviously, like the outside world, it's going crazy. Obviously, banking and all that kind of stuff is like collapsing now, but you know, it just makes the use case for Bitcoin even stronger. And it seems like, you know, everybody here is a little bit more motivated to keep working and kind of pushing through. You know, obviously, I've only been here for 2 days, so I haven't seen like the motivation prior. You know, I just kind of offhand saw it during Bitbog Boom, and I hear from you. You know, we talk like once a week or so, and you know, I just kind of see, you know, how hard you guys are working towards this goal. So, you know, I don't know if you can give us the full secret sauce or full of you know, what your vision is going forward, but you know, for 2023, we're about, you know, 1/4 in. What do you kind of hope to see the rest of the year at PlebLab, and what are some of the big goals that you got?
Yeah, I think for me and how I see PlebLab, I just want to continuously have impact on the community around us, and I think if we do that and effectively open our doors and operate in this kind of like way, I think everything will kind of work itself out. And I think at the end of the day, like our number one product right now that we have is the co-working membership that we have. You know, so $250, you can come in here and enjoy the hacker space and like, you know, get involved with everybody that's building in here. We do some education stuff. And then we also have like drop-ins and stuff like that. And then we have our accelerator that we're working towards, you know, building towards the long term. But right now, like you can, if people want to come visit or they want to come for a week or come for a day, like that's literally like the best thing to do is like come through PlebLab, you know, do a drop-in. And that for me, I think is the number one thing that we need to be focusing on right now is like growing the space, building it out more, making it more lightning enabled, doing the things that we weren't doing before, and then also continuously do the workshops, the hackathons, the meetups, the startup days, all those things. Like, so we're going to continuously do all those things, work on the revenue side of things, and then bring new people in. I think there was a post on Twitter the other day. Somebody was walking down 6th Street and they saw the mempool, right? And everybody was like freaked out. I was freaked out about it. I was like, wow, somebody left the shades open. But for me, I think that's good because it's showing that we have traffic that probably gets, you know, in the tens of thousands every day on 6th Street because we're directly on 6th Street. We're at the beginning of 6th Street. The first thing you see is like a Bitcoin company, you know, and it's a highly visible street. And to me, we really need to embrace that and try to figure out ways to get ourselves more out there as a community. Because at the end of I mean, I was just talking to some of the guys here for co-working day, like open co-working day, like it's like we're trying to save the world, right? Like we believe as Bitcoiners that Bitcoin's going to save the world or at least have an impact in it in a positive way. So that for me, I think is the goal, is just to keep building towards that. And I think PlebLab, you know, can make a difference.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I definitely agree with that. And I think, you know, the part that is almost like overlooked, I want to say, like, I mean, maybe I'm saying this because I'm, you know, on Twitter all the time, or, you know, not really in the weeds, or not in Austin or Nashville or one of these like hubs. You know, no disrespect to Tampa. I mean, we have our meetups like once a week and all that kind of stuff, but we don't have like, you know, maybe a dedicated co-working space like you guys have here. So, you know, it's going to be hard. It would be hard for me to put into words, but do the best you can. What do you think the value is of, you know, just being around other, you know, like-minded individuals and like-minded Bitcoiners that are working towards, you know, a similar goal, whether it's building some sort of product or service or what in the Bitcoin space. And, you know, just kind of having that, you know, accessibility to one another, where the water cooler talk here isn't about maybe the March Madness. We were just kind of talking about like businesses and how products and the exploitation of like child labor. It was a conversation we were kind of
just talking about like
which we
labor
were just talking about,
and how Bitcoin could potentially fix that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we're talking about like a lot of different things,
like real issues.
Yeah,
like global, like real issues. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. Yeah, I never noticed that, but like, yeah, our water cooler talk isn't about that. It's not even about like anything else other than just like, oh, how do we do this? I think the question you had asked was like, what kind of value do you get out of like working around other builders? And I think it's like what we saw yesterday with the Ordinals meetup, right? Like Super and Topher got together like at 12 p.m. yesterday, and then they knocked out this inscription service. So now you're going to be able to go there, upload a JPEG onto the blockchain, and it's just all in one fell swoop. You enter a Bitcoin address, and then you get attached. You get your own, Pepe or whatever. Now, like I'm not saying like go out there and like build more inscription stuff. That's not what I'm saying. You build whatever you want. I'm just saying like that's the kind of thing you can churn out in a day at PlebLab, just like really fast, and then show everybody that evening. And that's kind of what we see all the time is like, Jana was in here earlier, and she's like helping build the streaming room that we have in there, and she's like figuring out how to do like the painting so that way we can have like a whiteboard in there and stuff. So it's like even the smallest things, or like the things that you think won't have the biggest impact, make a difference too for others. So I think just being inside the lab, being with other builders, even just like getting general advice. I think Sean, I think you'll talk to him at some point in this podcast, but he's like building a company or building a project, and like he's somebody that everybody, I don't know if you saw, but like everybody was over there like giving them their advice and like trying to help them and trying to get them connected to people and intro to others. So yeah, for me, it's just like it's, if you're going to build anything on Bitcoin, you want to be around other builders because it accelerates it in a much faster point of view. And then here at PlebLab specifically, we have a very open kind of co-working space, and everybody's very friendly, and usually people won't stick around long enough if they're not, like it just kind of happens to be that way. So I definitely think we do get a certain type of person that comes into PlebLab. So yeah, it just kind of like, if everybody has that same kind of mindset, it's hard not to fail. So
yeah, and I agree. And I think the difference, I kind of brought this up a couple times yesterday, but it's the passion that the Bitcoiners have kind of behind it. It's like when you're very passionate about something, whether it's Bitcoin or, coding or something else, like you're going to find a way to either help that or figure out a new skill and be really determined to learn that skill. Because I mean, I had Austin in here yesterday, and he was he wouldn't say he was like a expert coder previously or anything like that, but he was just really determined to essentially learn the skill to help build, more Bitcoin related apps and other things like that too. So just stuff like that you wouldn't really see because maybe these people don't have a huge following on Twitter or Nostr or whatever, or, you're not really hearing about it. They're kind of, not living in the shadows, but not forward facing on the internet, right? They're kind of more in this, right in the weeds of things. And it's, really inspiring to see all that kind of stuff. And, just coming down here, it gets me all jacked up about what's going on in the Bitcoin space just because of that, right? I mean, you walk around here, there's, I don't know, there was like 15, 20 people here or something like that. And everybody's working on something a little bit different, but all towards the same goal. And it's just awesome stuff.
It's cool too, because you can kind of walk around. Like if you get stuck on a problem or something, you can go outside in the courtyard or go take a walk to Royal Blue, or like, or just go check in who else is working on something different, so you can get your mind off of it. So that's a kind of cool thing, is like the interactive part of PlebLab that I like a lot. But yeah, man, we're doing it. We're staying humble here, and we're trying to build, and we're trying to make an impact on Bitcoin like everybody else. There's nothing too special that we do around here, but we do all, have a very like FOSS mindset about things. So
yeah. And so then what do you think the benefit is having like another place, like not only PlebLab, but having the Commons?
I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's great. Like I had told, I think we were at 74 hackers or 74 developers for the hackathon. And at that point I was like, oh crud. We don't have enough space, and we can't afford an event space. And then it was like, okay, I need to go talk to Parker Lois and Kaylee. And then I just went to go talk to Parker. I was like, Parker, we need help. We don't have enough space to do the hackathon. Can we do it here at the Commons? He's like, absolutely, Car. What do we need to do? Like, you know, it's just Parker being Parker. And Kaylee was like all for it too. So it's like, for us, it's a big plus. It's a benefit because I think personally, if let's just say I'm not the one running PlebLab, I would say you definitely need a couple places for kind of what Austin has kind of become. Like, it's just so many Bitcoiners and people are getting onboarded all the time. So like last night we had some Ordinal stuff here, and the amount of people that were from the South by part of it, or like the Web3 part of it, or whatever they were, I'd never seen them before. Like, but they were here at a Bitcoin thing, you know, during South by. So I personally think you do need a PlebLab and a Bitcoin Commons inside of Austin because it's that big. Like, there's too many Bitcoiners, and I don't think one place could hold both of them. And I think we complement each other really well. I think that's another thing. So yeah, I love going to the Commons. It's like a way nicer version than what we have going on here.
Dude, don't cut Pleb Lab short, man.
No, I mean, we're very pleb here. Like, it's called Pleb Lab. Like, we're very pleb. It's very like hacker space. You know, like right now we're trying to fix the grinder, and we're all nerds. We don't know how to fix grinders, like from the the beans or whatever. We're figuring it out.
YouTube University, man, right?
Oh, there you go. See, but like we all have our own little kind of thing, but I think when we go to the Commons, we all know like, oh yes, you get to relax in this like amazing atmosphere. And then Marty's there, get to hang out with Marty and stuff. But yeah, it's a very good. I think it's perfect because we can just walk down the street. We're there. Walk over here. We're there. And it just works out really well.
Yeah. And I mean, I was complimenting you before, or complimenting the space before, because like you said at the beginning of all this, it's like right in the heart of 6th Street.
Yeah.
You know, like right at the beginning, I was like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get right off the highway, you take one turn, then it's like 2 blocks down the road. Mm-hmm. I just walked to some great taco food trucks like down the street. You know, it's like really centralized. Obviously, you know, it's 6th Street. Everybody, you know, has been to Austin, probably knows all the bars and everything there too. So, I mean, just like you said, the foot traffic around here is great. And just, yeah, like in the heart of downtown Austin.
Yeah. So like on Fridays, so at the Commons and here at PlebLab, we're doing KNC Cattle, and Chef Johnny Ochoa is going to be doing the cooking. So like, this is where it's good to have a PlebLab out of Bitcoin Commons, because we have parking in the back of our lot. So I was like, okay, Johnny, I'm going to need your parking so we can start cooking the barbecue like here. So one of his guys is going to have to run the barbecue over to the Commons and then run it over. Like, it's going to be a whole coordination. Like, it takes a village, man. Like it really does.
Literal food runner, right?
Because where else is he going to cook that amazing barbecue? Like, we're lucky because we have a parking lot. We can do it here, and we have a courtyard. So there's a smoker there. There's all these things that can be done. But yeah, it just makes things easier having both. And quite frankly, it's just like a perfect kind of like balance. And like we're all working towards the same thing, and that's just like, you know, Bitcoin growth in Austin. So to me, it works out really well.
Oh, but yeah, definitely it's a well-oiled machine down here, right? But I mean, maybe it's not working on all cylinders like at all times, you know. I mean, obviously there's bumps in the road, there's people learning lessons and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I think, you know, that's one thing that Bitcoin has kind of taught us, right? I mean, there's sometimes there's bumps in the road, there's FUD, there's other things like that, but everything at the end of the day, you guys are all working towards the same common goal, and that's where I think PlebLab is awesome. And
even like Gary from BitBlock Boom, like even Gary's getting involved with stuff down here in Austin, right? So he's doing BitBlock Boom here in Austin, and you can go get tickets right now with BitBlock Boom. So even like we're all getting better with working with each other, and that's the thing too. Is like, you know, now I officially know these guys for more than 2 years at this point, right? So they know what type of person I am. They know type of man that I am. Like, they know I keep my word on things, and vice versa. So I think also in that sense too, we're also just getting better at knowing each other and knowing what they expect, we expect of each other and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
and propping each other up too.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, and that's what comes with community, right? It's like that responsibility to provide for others without self-seeking for yourself. So that's a thing that I've always taken to heart, because I've seen Jimmy and Parker and like Joe and Drew and like all these guys do it over the course of these years, like, and seeing them do it in Austin. It's like, okay, I want to be just like them. I want to serve my community the same way they have, like, Moon too, like Justin. So for me, it's just like following exactly in their footsteps, learning exactly what they have taught me, and then just like applying it forward, because you want to be a good example for others.
Oh, so, yeah, of course, man. And I think you're doing that. I mean, I know. I know, man. That's Sai. And man, that Sai right there is all the hard work like you've been putting in this week, dude. Is going to pay off. I mean, the hackathon. But
there's a lot. See, I will say there's a lot of people behind the scenes. Like, thank you to Teresa. Thank you to like Jana. Thank you to like Austin. Thank you to like Topher, Logan. Like all these people that help out with the lab. Keon. I can go down the list. There's so many more. Dono, like there's tons of people behind the scenes that don't get any credit, and like those are the people that are really, really, really doing a lot of the work. So it's like, I gotta shout them out, because those people, like, this thing doesn't go without them. So it's a lot of people, and then plus there's people in our community, right? Like Parker, Kaylee, Justin, Nifty, Ben. Buck, Ben, like the Bens, the Bens. Who else? Paul, Tony. Like it's a lot of people that are. Sahil. Like there's a lot of people that are helping move all this forward, and there's probably even more that I can't even. I can't think of. But so like there's a lot of people that are contributing to the Austin Bitcoin scene. And it's kind of Michael too. Michael from Oshi, like he's a big part of it. How did I forget Michael? And then Cole from KNC Cattle. He's another person. You can go down the list. I'm telling you, there's a lot of us that are like doing this behind the scenes that I don't think people realize how many people are actually pushing this forward.
Yeah, and
it's probably like it's in the 20s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. There's a lot of people that are putting in work.
I didn't count, but I want to say you named probably over 20 people just now, and
there's a lot of people, like, and then people and the people that get the most credit are like the PlebLab and the Bitcoin Commons, but that's not true. Like it's others behind the scenes, that are doing things that are making a difference for Austin.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that the big thing too to kind of take away is like there's
T++. I forgot I heard T+ is another one. Super Testnet. Like, go down the list.
I know, and so shout out to Super Testnet. Maybe we'll get him in here today. But I mean, you just go down the list, man. There's so many different things, and there's like if you go into what each one of those people do, we don't have to do all that because that's going to take a very long time. But if you go into what each one of those people do, it's
Deathbed. I forgot Deathbed. Right, that's his artwork back there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna remember, or you're gonna just find like a million different things that all these different people are doing, right?
It's a good thing I said Deathbed. He would kill me if I didn't say his name. He's probably watching this right now. Shout out.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody helping Car behind the scenes.
No, helping each other behind the scenes, not just Car. Like they're helping each other.
Car, you're too humble, man.
Got to stay humble. Ted's another person that There's a lot of people, man.
I feel like at this point you're gonna walk out of this room and forget that you forgot to name like 5 people, and you're gonna be kicking yourself. And
I feel bad about it.
Don't worry about it. I mean, I think everybody knows how appreciative you are of the help, and I think like just propping each other up. And I've known you for a little bit of time now, a few months, and I couldn't be happier for you. And seeing the job that you're doing out here, and
Thanks,
the way that people are propping you up, man, it's truly inspiring. So I'm glad I've finally gotten out to meet you in front of the screen now instead of behind the screen, and man, get to hang out with you all week and really see the fruits of your labor here.
Thanks, Brandon. I really enjoyed having you on the podcast a couple months back. It was like one of our most listened to podcasts on Thriller.
Yeah, awesome.
And for people that don't know, I do a little media company called Thriller Bitcoin. We have a couple writers and do podcasts on a weekly basis. But I had Brandon on, and a lot of people were liking that episode. We got to do another one. Just get an update, on everything, because you're paying attention to all the macro stuff. And I feel like you take like a very pleb approach to explaining these things, at least, you know. And then, yeah, dude. And then you're just doing really good things with Green Candle, man.
Thanks,
like,
man.
shout out, dude.
Thanks,
Green
I appreciate
Candle,
it.
because you're doing something different. I feel like in the Bitcoin media space, that's you're building a bridge to people that we probably wouldn't have access to. So it's really good.
I appreciate that, man. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much more of your time today because I know I'm going to get you on the pod later today before all this
thanks
stuff.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, so feel free to go bug somebody else and
okay, I'll bring them in here.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for those